Yes, Moses, you're loud and clear.
All right, that's good to hear. Give me a minute. Let me put on my camera and we can get started for today. All right, so good day, everyone once again. My name is Moses Joshua. All right, sorry about that. I had to put on my lights. All right, once again, good day, everyone. My name is Moses Joshua. Nice to have everyone on the call for today. So I'm going to be your host for today. So before we get started, I would like to, before we get right into the discussion, I would like to get to know where everyone is joining us from. So I would like everyone to put in the chat channel your name and where you're joining us from for today. So put in the chat channel where you're joining us from, your name, so that I'll be able to know the people, the audience I have here for today. All right, I'm checking the chat here now. All right, Elizabeth from Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Nice to meet you, Elizabeth. Wells. Okay. Um, all right, so we have more people in. Nam from nice to meet you too, Elizabeth. Nam, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Nam from the UK. Nice to meet you, Nam. We have Amen from London. Nice to meet you, London. Amen. All right. Isaac from Scotland. So we have about 3 people. iPhone. Nice to meet you, Isaac. All right, that's great. So do we have more people on the call today? All right, so okay, we have oh oh Ihioma from London. Sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Joy from Leeds. We have Iberidem Udo from Uyo, Nigeria. Okay, nice to have everyone on the call today. Okay, I see that a lot of people are here already. So I would like to know if today is your first time joining us. So if today is your first time joining our master class, just put a 1 in the chat channel. And if you've joined the master class before, you can put any number so that I'll know the people that are coming here for the first time. All right, Hans for now, 1, but first time, that's great. New, amen. Okay, Emelda has been here. All right. All right. It seems we have a lot of new people joining us today. That's really great. So thank you very much for joining. So I would like you guys to, my colleague's gonna be putting in the attendance form in here. So you guys should try to fill the attendance form if you're joining in newly or if you are here today. So try to fill the attendance form. And if you have any relatives that you know are going to benefit from this section for today, reach out to them, tell them to join in ASAP so that they can be able to learn what we're about to teach today, so that they don't miss this golden opportunity that we have today. So the form is on the chat channel. So click on the form, fill in the form so that all the materials that we're going to be using today will be sent to you via your emails. So let's get right into it. Can you guys see my screen? If you can see my screen, just leave a thumbs up so I'll know you guys can actually see my screen. All right, okay, that's great, Sophia. All right, so what we're going to be doing today is project management. Project managers are taking over business analysts. Is that so? It's a question I wanted to, we're going to be asking ourselves for today. And I'm going to be shedding more light on this topic for today. So let's go on. Firstly, before we move right into the topic, let's first check who are we? Who is bringing this courses, this section to us today? We are Analytics. We are a leading tech edutech company that's focused on bringing the tech world to those that has not learned about it, and for those that are in their 9-to-5 job and trying to transition, we are here to actually put them through. And we have over 4 years of experience in building the talent technology workforce, and we've helped close to 3,000 people transition from the classroom, which is their 9-to-5 jobs, into their first tech role across the UK, the US, Canada, Europe, Africa, and Asia. And what areas are we specializing in? We have experimental training in data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, agile project management, Scrum Master, cybersecurity, and AI engineering. And we are going to be bringing, for you to be able to get the knowledge and most experience from this, our team is going to be bringing in lead instructors from leading global companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. And why are we bringing them in? To help to share their wealth of experience, their real life experience to us, and they are actually dedicated in delivering engaging practical learning experience so that we can receive the maximum value from the investment we are going to be doing for our future. So now, who is speaking to you? This is me here. I'm your facilitator for today. My name is Moses Joshua, as I've earlier said before. I'm a senior agile project management at Analytics with several years of experience in project management. And I'm very passionate in organizing teams and delivering impactful projects. So that's enough about me. You guys will be learning more as we go on. So now what we have for today. So this is what we're going to be doing for today. We'll be looking, we'll take a brief intro on what the business analyst and project management is. And then we'll look into the career opportunity of a business analyst and a project manager. And then we'll go further into Analytics growth and internship program where we'll be talking about that. And last but not the least, our special discount offer that we are going to be having for you guys for today. So now let's get right into it. So first of all, I would like to talk about who a project manager is before we go right into if they're taking over or not. We have to first of all know who they are, right? So for me, I call project managers as, I refer to them as organizers or the drivers of projects, right? Reason being that they are the ones who are in charge of the planning, the organizing, and they drive a project from the beginning to the completion of the project, right? They make sure that the project is completed successfully without and on time. They are responsible for actually ensuring that the projects are completed on time, within budget, and according to the expectation, according to what I said earlier on. And let's check a bit of an example. Let me cite an example here of what a project manager does, right? Consider a company that is embarking on a mobile app. Probably a company wants to build a mobile app. They have their physical company already, but now they want to upscale. They want to build a mobile app so that it will make it easier for their community to actually reach out to them. Let's use an example, a food restaurant, right? A food restaurant that is very common to us, right? They already have their company, but now they want to make it even more so that people can access them from anywhere in the world. So they decided to build a mobile app for themselves. So what would a project manager do? Or what's the role of a project manager in a scenario like this? A project manager helps to drive, is a driving force that makes sure that the designers, the developers deliver a polished quality product within the specified time frame that was given for the project. And according to this project, they gave them 3 months. They said, oh, project manager, we need this app delivered in 3 months. Make sure that you put your team in line. So the work of project manager in this case is make sure that everyone is on track. The designer, what he's doing, make sure that he's always there. You reach out to them, reach out to the design lead. How is your team going? How is the progress of the work? Where have you guys gotten to? What do you guys need? Make sure that they are constantly working, they are executing the project, and they are delivering quality, meaning that they are doing exactly what the client wants or the stakeholder wants, the person that owns the project. They are doing exactly what they want, meaning building it on time. And then after the designers are done, they reach out to developers. Okay, the designers are done with building the UI UX design, the logos, the front end. Now is the time for the developers to work. So they put in their work also. You also reach out to them. So project managers are more like leaders, right? They are not bosses. They don't boss people around. Hey, go and do this, go and do that. They more like lead. They reach out to you. They make sure that you're on track, relate with you. Do you need anything? That's what a leader does, right? So that's what a big project managers are. They are leaders. They are organizers. They make sure that the project does not stop. They motivate the team wherever motivations is needed, and they make sure that the team continues to move forward. So now let's look at what does a project manager actually do. So I would like us to put in the chat channel with what I've said earlier on. What do you guys think a project manager does before I show the answer here? What do you guys think a project manager does? What is the role or what are the tasks a project manager does in a project? I'm looking at the chat channel here. Any answers from anyone? Just put it in there so that I can read it out. All right, the team lead, yes. Thank you, Imelda. They lead the team, very important. All right. Facilitate projects, that's great. They make sure everyone is coordinated. Consfail, that's nice. Facilitate also, that's great. That's great. Who else wants to give the go? All right, the project coordinators, they coordinate the project. Thank you very much, Imelda also. So what they do, one, they plan the project from start to finish, right? They make sure that immediately they get the project starts, they make sure that everyone is on track and within the time frame that was given for the project, and make sure that the project is completed on time and within schedule. Coordinate activities to ensure the goals are achieved. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. That's great. Intellectual capacity of the project. Thank you very much, iPhone. So next, they build team and assign tasks. So according to what I said before, they make sure everyone has their tasks, right? They reach out to the designers and say, okay, this is the task you're supposed to do. They reach out to the developers. These are the tasks you're supposed to do. So they assign the tasks. They build the team. They brought the designers. They brought the developers together and they built the team. And then they assign the tasks to those people that are going to be working on the project, right? Next is track progress and solve problems. So when the task has been assigned, the next thing is start tracking the project, right? Track what they are doing, reach out to them. How is it going? You know, your deadline is in 2 days or so. How is the project coming along? Do you have any hiccups along the way? Reach out to them. right? Track their progress so that you'll be able to, in case the stakeholder asks, where are you guys? You'll be able to say something at the end of the day. So make sure, and also they said here, solve problems. So in case of there's any hiccup, probably the developer is saying, oh, this part of the code I'm not understanding, or this part is giving me a bit of an issue. You can reach out to the lead developer and say, okay, someone below you is saying he's having issue with one part. He's having challenges. Please try to reach out to him and try to help him resolve that. You are providing solution for the developer at that moment. So that's your work at that moment. Make sure everyone is on track, solve the problems that they are facing, and make sure that everyone is all problems are resolved to avoid any project creep in the project. After that, we'll be talking about the communication with everyone involved. So when they say communicate with everyone involved, means that you are both talking with the stakeholders, you are talking with your team members. The stakeholders can be the internal stakeholders and the external stakeholders. The internal stakeholders are basically people within your team, people that you are working with, people you are working with. Those are your those are your internal stakeholders. And the external stakeholders are people that use your product, right? People that use your product, like the consumers, they are your external stakeholders, right? So you have to learn how to communicate with everyone involved in the project, right? So for your team, which is the internal stakeholders, I've already talked about how to communicate with them, right? So now for the external stakeholders, how do you communicate with people outside? You communicate with them via your social media, reach out to them. You guys have used our app, drop your feedback here, send in feedback forms like the one we are doing here. We'll send our feedback form in here so that you'll be able to fill it. So you guys are like the external stakeholders. You guys will send it to you so you guys can give us a report of how you feel about the project, how you feel about the product, how you feel about the section we are doing. So basically, that's how you communicate. It communicates with everyone involved. And the last one here is make sure that the project stays on schedule and budget. That is very important when you're working on a project. Very, very important. Just because you want a magnificent thing in the project, that does not mean you should go beyond your budget, right? Make sure that you are always on budget when you're working. You're always on budget when you're working on your project, right? When you are giving money to the designers, giving money to the developers, make sure that you have some fund left in case of you want to go for the marketing, right? So don't just spend all the money and say, okay, I want to go for the best, and you eventually forget the main goal. If you tell the project owner that, oh, the reason why the budget is finished now is because we're trying to do something instead of using something good, right? You want to use something really great, like, and it is beyond the budget of that project. The project owner will not be happy at that moment, right? He will say, why? Who sent you work? That's what he will say at that moment, because he wants you to complete the project so that it will be functional. And you are going way beyond more than the budget. And now that the budget is finished, you are now going back to him to demand for extra funding. It's not going to sit well with him. So as a project manager, you should know how to manage your budget. You should know how to schedule the project so that it will be on time and be delivered on time. And more of this will be discussed in our projects, in our program. If you take our program, which is our Agile Project Management course, more of this will be talked about. So now let's move into the next one, which is who is a business analyst? What I refer to business analyst as a problem solver, the communicator, right? And why do I say so? They are like people that thinks of the project a lot, right? They think about your competitors, how the project will move forward, what's the trends on that project, how to make sure that this project is moving forward and everything concerning that project. So they help you to gather data. When you hear gathering of requirements, these are the business analysts are majorly in charge of that, right? They help with gathering everything needed for a project. So now let's read a bit of that. A business analyst is a strategic thinker who identify business needs, ensure that project team thoroughly understands them. So they are the ones that actually gets to talk. The project owner gives them the details of what they want in their project, right? They will break everything down. Okay, so they are the ones that are going to listen to all this, right? This is their work. So the business analysts engage the business stakeholder, customers, gather insights and ideas, and translate them in clear, actionable requirements for the development team. So all the requirements that are going to be gathered, they are going to be like the intermediary, right? They're going to be the intermediary between the all the big grammars that they're going to be hearing from the project owners, the stakeholders, all the big grammar. You'll have to come and relate it to the team. Okay, well, this is the breakdown of everything, right? So that they'll be able to understand and work much better at that moment. An example, I also use mobile app. Same example I used for the project managers. I said in the case of we're also working on the websites for a food vendor, right? And they want to build an app. What is the work of the business analyst here? They help the business analyst identifies and documents critical user features. What do they mean by critical user features? Probably the key features that users are interested in when they want to use a food delivery app, right? More like tracking the food, wherever the food is coming from, more like food ordering. Those are key features. So they help to document this critical user feature so that you can be able to implement that in your own project. And I gave other examples here, such as the login, the payment gateway, or in-house chat functionality. So these are some other functionalities also. So now with this, I would like to ask us, what do we guys think? What are the roles, or what does a business analyst do? With what we've said, with the little we've said about a business analyst, what do you guys think they do? Put it in the chat channel so that I can read it out. What do we think the business analysts do? What do they do? What are their role? What are their work in the project? So I'm waiting. Okay, think tank. I love the way you said that, think tank. And they are in charge of thinking process. That's great. So they said gather information need information from customers, information and needs from customers. That's great. Thank you. They strategize. Thank you very much. They help to improve policies and services. That's great because they help to gather. He's a problem solver. I love that. So thank you very much, guys. So what do a business analyst actually do? One, talk to business user and understand their problem. That's one of them that we talked about. They relate with them to understand everything they want to do. Like the food delivery app we're talking about, they reach out to the project owner. That means the person that owns the food delivery system. They reach out to the person. Okay, so how do you want your app to be? So the person will now explain, okay, I want it to be like this. I want the landing page to have just the username. I don't want their full name. I don't want to use their full name for anything. I just want it to have like a username and then password, something like that. That's the sign up page or the login page will have that. Then when they log in, there should be an email sent to them that congratulations, you've registered with our food delivery app, and we're hoping to get a feedback or an order from you the soonest. So that's more like the project owner describing what they want to like the business analyst. So the business analyst just down all these things. This will take us to the next point. Gather and write down requirements. So he will write down all these requirements that are being said. He'll write it down, and then he's going to break it down to the team that, okay, this is what the project owner said he wants. He said he wants the food delivery app to have the username and password. He does not want the full name. He wants it to be so he helps you break down everything so that when they are designing or when they're developing, it makes it easier for them. They have a clear picture of what they want to build. Next is suggest the best solution to the business. So in case of, thank you, iPhone. In case of in case of the business user does not understand, sometimes if you talk to some project owners, right? Some people that wants to build a project, the way they talk sometimes, you wonder that is it still in this same project you want to build, that you want to put all these kind of things. Sometimes when they say it is too much, at least for the beginning phase, it's too much to include, right? So you can decide to like pitch into them that, okay, well, for a start, we can do this and this and this. Let me use the example I've been using before. For a start, imagine you're a food delivery app, you're building a food delivery app. For a start, you can tell them we can just build a payment gateway, a login page, a payment gateway structure, and the place they want to order from, right? We can start with that. Then as we go on, we can decide to add tracking mode. We can decide to add timer or something so I can be able to know how long it's going to take for a delivery to get to you and all those kind of extra features, right? So all this is dependent on the budget and some other features also. It's dependent on other features that, okay, probably the project owner does not have enough money at the moment, right? And he just wants to build something. So you are in the best situation to tell them that, okay, let's go for this, for this, for this, for the meantime, before we'll now start going big. It's better for you to build it so that it will be functional than for you to start with bigger features. At the end of the day, you'll be stuck and not be able to finish the project, right? So that's very bad. So it's better you finish with the main features that is going to make the app functional and start using. Then as time goes on, you continue adding to it. So those are the solutions that a business analyst can provide for someone that wants to do a food vendor at the end of the day. Next is make sure that what's built is useful and solve the right problem. According to what I said now, make sure that the key features are included on the platform or on the app you are trying to build. Make sure that is useful and it solve the problem. And what is the major problem when it comes to delivery? First is what? Signing up. Next is what? Making orders. Pick the orders you want to do. And next is what? Payments. And then next is what? Delivery of the food. That's basically the major things that will make it functional at that moment. So these are the things to check out for and make sure that everything is on track. And next is work closely with the tech and testing team. So you have to always work closely with them. Okay, how is it going? Do you guys still understand the project? Do you have any difficulties somewhere? And the testing team also check with them also, how is it going? So that's basically it. So now let's check the key differences between a project manager and a business analyst. What are the key differences here? One, let's look at the first part, which is what the focus, right? When it comes to focus, the project manager focus on how to deliver. They focus on how to deliver, how to like make sure that the project is delivered on time. That's what they are focused on. And then the focus of a business analyst is what to build and why. So the project business analysts are more concerned about how to build the features, what should be included on the app, and then how the functionalities of those apps should be. Those are the work of the business analyst. The project manager is, let us start the project. I'll make sure I guide the project from beginning and I'll deliver the project to you on time and within your budget. That's the focus of a project manager. Now, the main goal of a project manager is what? Finish on time and on within budget. According to what I just said now, that's their major goal. And then the major goal of a business analyst is understanding the business need, right? They want to understand the business need so that they'll be able to fully interpret it to the designers and developers that, okay, this is what they want. And the next one is works with. What do they work with? Who does the project manager work with? They work with what do they work with? They work with their teams, they work with deadlines, and they work with risk. Teams, we all know teams, they work with their teams. According to what I've said earlier on, they lead their teams, meaning they also guide the teams. Okay, how is it going? And talk with them, work with them closely. The next is deadline. They are always conversant, or they're always in check with the deadline. Okay, let's know when the deadline is going to be. They're always ringing it on the ears of the designer. You have 2 days to go for this design. Make sure you are done with it. Ring it on the developer's ear, same thing, and all that. And then the risk. When they say risks, is what might happen to what are the risks a business they want to build or the project you want to build is going to be facing. What are the risks? Right? That's what risk are. So that's what we try to check out for. We'll make sure that the project does not fall on any risk. An example of a risk is probably for the developers team, one of them is now fell ill, right? And the project was not able to move forward. That's one risk that you have to always put in mind for, right? You have to always have it at the back of your mind that what if a project or what if one of the team actually falls ill, right? That's one of the risks you can look out for. Same thing as what if the budget is not enough? What if the timeline is exceeded? All these are risks in a project. You as a project manager, you should be able to look for ways to mitigate this risk. And then what do a business analyst work with? They work with stakeholders and the processes. Stakeholders meaning they are the ones that relate with the owners of the project. The stakeholders meaning people that are in charge of the project, reach out to them, speak with them. Okay, what do you want for this project? They get the key details, the key features that the stakeholders or the project owner wants in the project, right? They get those details and then they pass it to the team. Next is the processes. They work with their processes, right? These are processes that they take to make sure that everything is on track. So example, we talked about example of a project manager that we've talked about previously, manage the team building the app. As early as the example I stated earlier, they manage the team, they lead the team, make sure that the app is being built within the budget and the timeline that is being allocated for it. And what is the example of the business analyst here? They gather features for the app. They are the ones that go around, they check other competitors out there and they check, oh, okay, what are these apps that we've not added? What are these features that we need to add to this app to make it functional, at least for the first time? Make it functional, make it good, and make it very interactive so that people that use it once can later come back to it later on and use it again. So now let's look at a real life example. I've talked about one using the app. So now let's look at what the role of a business analyst in when you are building a website and what a project manager also does when you are building a website, right? So both of them are, imagine it's a company hired a business analyst and a project manager. So this is just like showing us what the role of a business analyst is and what the role of a project manager is. All right. So, sorry. The business analyst talks to stakeholders. At first, when the business first starts, the business analyst will be the one to go and reach out to the stakeholders. Oh, consult with them to identify the specific needs and goals for the new website they want to build. So they'll be more like the front guys that will go about, talk to them, relate to the stakeholders. Okay, well, how is it going? What do you want? Give us specifics. This is where the user story, this is what they call the user story. The business analyst will jot down everything that the stakeholder wants as the end user. So they will jot down everything. After jotting down everything, they will take it to the team and say, okay, this is what they want. This is the breakdown of what they want, right? The next is gathering, requirements gathering. This one also is also the business analyst that does this. After talking with the stakeholders, the next thing is they start gathering the requirements, the things that are going to be needed for the project. The business analyst determines that the website must include online shopping capabilities, a comprehensive bar for easy navigation, and a contact form for customers' inquiries. So this is the requirements that the business analyst gathered after going about checking other trending competitors and how their websites are working. He goes around, check the important key features on their app, and he brings it to the team that, okay, these are the features I know that people use a lot on this app. So those are what they refer to as gathering of requirements. So they go about gathering of requirements. So after all this is done for the business analyst, the next one will be the project manager will now start his work. The project manager will now start coordinate the timeline or create the timeline. That's what they do. First of all, they start creating the timeline. And first thing they do is project manager develop a detailed project timeline, assign tasks to members. So after assign tasks to members and ensure that all aspects of the project is delivered within the 6-week time frame. That means the project was given a 6-week time frame, right? So firstly, after all the data have been gathered, the project manager will now sit down and build a timeline regarding all the features that was gathered by the business analyst, right? He will now build a timeline for it. Then after doing that, he will now start assigning tasks using the timeline he created. Okay, the first man task, man A or the developer A, take this task, design. Let me use my name, Moses. You take this task. Sophia, you take this task. So they assign tasks to the members of the team that are present, and then they ensure that everyone is on track and working on their project, and make sure that the project is delivered on time and within the allocated budget that was actually given to us. Now, one thing I want us to know is that both roles are very critical for the success of the project, right? The business analyst defines the what and the why of the project, while the project manager actually focus on the how the project is going to be done, and then when the project is going to be delivered. And both of them actually work collaboratively. Now, let's move to the talk of the day. The blur lines, why the overlapping, right? We've talked about that there are overlaps, and those are the topics for today. Why the overlapping, right? The first point here is what? Agile methodologies. And what is agile methodologies? Agile methodologies is just a flexible way of handling a project. That's basically its flexible way, meaning that it is not as rigid as the traditional waterfall methodologies that is used in project management, right? Don't worry, all these terminologies are terminologies used in both project management and business analysts. You guys will get to hear more of it here if you're able to take one of these courses with us. You'll be able to hear more and understand more of these terminologies. But I'll simply break it down that when it comes to agile methodologies, it's just a flexible way of handling a project, right? The widespread adoption of agile methodologies encourages shared responsibilities, blur lines between traditional roles, and promoting team collaboration. So when we talk about agile methodologies, this one helps us when it comes to agile. It helps us relate more with stakeholders, right? We're able to communicate more frequently with stakeholders using the agile methodology. That's why many people are going into the agile methodologies now. If it is in those days whereby we still have just the traditional, which is the waterfall methodology, right? Immediately the project is set, you will not be able to speak to the stakeholder until that project is done. And that is when the stakeholder will now start pointing out correction that, oh, you did not put this button here, you did not put this button here. So you will now start going back to start working again after you have finished the project and submitted, right? But that's not so when it comes to agile methodologies, right? When it comes to agile methodologies, from the onset, you have like probably a weekly call or a weekly communication or a bi-weekly communication, depending on how the time is being fixed with you and the stakeholders. So you have communications with back and forth communication with the stakeholders, whereby when you are done with a certain milestone, you send to the stakeholder will review and send back to you with some feedback, and you guys will be able to discuss back and forth, right? With that now, you as a project manager, you are now understanding more. You are now being able to relate with the project with the project owner more. And this is supposed to be where the business analyst comes in to talk with the project owner that, okay, and then he will relate whatever he learns to the team. But now that agile methodology is involved, project managers can now go back and forth communication with the stakeholders, right? And then it's now minimizing the role or the work of a business analyst in this situation. Next is what smaller companies. Most small companies, they will not want to employ, they will not want to employ they don't want to employ both a business analyst and a project manager. So what they do is they try to like get a project manager or get one of them so that you'll be able to handle both tasks, especially a project manager that knows how to reach out, that knows how to communicate with the stakeholders, that knows how to work or do some skills as a business analyst. So they try to like bring the person in so that the person can do both roles together, like gathering of requirements and all that. So according to what he said, smaller organizations often seek to streamline operation by hiring professionals with a diverse skill set, rather than maintaining separate specialized role. So what they do here is just to cut costs, and they don't want to like getting more people is more money, right? So they decide to just get one person that has all the skill. So most people, if you go to their LinkedIn, you see many options whereby project manager is having a skill of working on Excel, Power BI, Jira, and so on. So those are extra skills the project manager gets. And then the next one we're going to be talking about is tools and technology. Tools and technology is now making it easier. The blog is now making it overlapping, right? The project managers and collaboration tools such as Jira and Slack creates perception that the work of a PM and BA is increasingly similar. What this is simply saying is that all these tools, because of both the project managers and the BA are now using the same tools, people now feel that, is it not the same thing that they are doing? Project manager is using Jira, a business analyst is using Jira, a project manager uses Slack, a business analyst. So these tools are now bringing similarities, increasing the similarities between them. So people will not be able to know or finally define the two roles when you are using this two app, unless you are a big company whereby you know the usefulness of having both a project manager and a business analyst. And then last but not the least here on my slide is faster results. That's one of the reason the blurry lines we have here, faster results. Many companies are under pressure to deliver faster results with fewer handoff, driving the need for professionals to handle multiple aspects of a project, right? So in the age we are in now, most company wants to like do rush. They said we have to be out there. So there's always pressure in there for the team. Okay, let's just keep working. Let's put this thing out there. And most of them don't want to spend more, right? They just want to spend little. So they try to like go to get someone that has the diverse skill, that has multiple skill within their arsenal, and then reach out to the person to come and work with them. So the person is going to be doing a little bit of work of a business analyst, and then the project manager. Person will gather the requirements, do the critical thinking, make the suggestions, and then still help them with managing the tasks, executing the tasks, creating timelines, and making sure the project is delivered on time and within schedule. So now they now merge everything. If you don't check at it, where you will see that most people are already doing both the work of a business analyst and a project manager. So now, is there really the question now I want to ask each and every one of us with what we've said so far? Is there really a takeover? Is it really a takeover? Should we call this a takeover? That means, is the business analyst taking the role of is the project manager taking the role of a business analyst, or vice versa? What do you guys think? Who wants to give it a try? Do you guys think so? No? Yes? Okay. Not at all. No, please. All right, that's great. No, that's great. Thank you very much, guys. So I like the fact that we have diverse answers in there, right? So the question is, are PMs really taking over business roles? Now, I'll use the example I used previously for smaller companies. In some companies, especially small ones, project managers are indeed taking on more business analyst tasks, according to what I said before. Because most of the business project managers are the ones going to gather informations, do the critical thinking, helping the project manager think, okay, oh, this option is better for you, go through this route. The project managers will have to listen to the ideas of the business owners that, oh, okay, this is what you want, this is how you want it. They will listen to it and then they will relate it to the team. Most smaller business do that because they want to cut costs. That's what they want to do. But however, in larger and more complex organization, the distinction between the two roles remains very clear. So our main target is this bigger organization, right? It is not a complete takeover, but rather a mixing but rather a mixing and overlapping of responsibility. So this is not what we call a takeover. Within some larger organization, the roles are very clear. So the business analyst knows his role and the project manager knows their role because they will have someone in charge of everyone. So they will have like a PMO, person in charge of everybody, right? A project management office, right? He knows the task that is assigned to every project manager. Okay, you work on this task. So you are not going beyond your task. So there's no way for you to even go and be doing the work of a business analyst in bigger organizations or complex organizations. So it's mostly in the smaller organization that will have this mix-up, that will have this overlapping of responsibility. So I would say it's not really a takeover, right? It's more like the mixed responsibilities whereby it is now overlapping each other. Many companies now are seeking for hybrid professionals, right? Especially smaller companies, right? They are seeking for hybrid professionals who can effectively manage project deliveries and then do business analysis also. And then who are these business professionals that these smaller organizations are looking for? They are the ones that they help with understanding business and managing the deliveries. That's one of their roles. And then do both project and analytics activities, and then the last but not the least, leading to better communication and collaboration. So now smaller organization now wants to pay, they want to pay because they want to divide the role or they want to pay less, right? They now try to find people who can do multiple skill and they reach out to them that, okay, we want you in our organization and all that, right? But for bigger organizations, the roles are still clear. If you're focusing on your niche for a bigger organization, if you are getting in there, you know that that's what you're focusing on. There's nothing like, oh, you go home and be nagging that, oh, they took me for a project manager role. I got there, I'm doing the work of a business analyst, adding that to my role. It's not going to be too good for you as a person. So, but nowadays, it's better to have more skills in your arsenal, right? Because you don't know where it's going to be helpful to you in the long run. So let's check the real data rate change. This data is is gotten from LinkedIn. We have over 30% of project management PM jobs now include business analysts in their tasks, right? So most of the job ads that are going on now, you see some business analysis tasks inside, whereby they will be telling you to be versed in critical thinking. They'll be telling you you should be versed in information gathering and so on, right? So they now add this thing to it just because of they want to minimize costs, right? 25% demand for hybrid role, 25%. So then we have about 25% of people that are posting this job are demanding for hybrid role, right? And this has grown, this hybrid role has grown since the 2023 where they started taking this information. 25% of hybrid roles have now been taken over, right? People that has both the project management role and the business analyst role, they are, or a little bit of a business analyst skill, they are now in high demand now, or at least 25% in demand for now, right? But as time goes on, the world is ever changing. I remember a few years back, we were all using or we are sticking to traditional project management, which is waterfall, right? Anyway, during that time, probably 10 years ago or so, if anybody mentioned agile to you or agile methodology, you just look at the person that what are you saying, right? You look at the person that what is the meaning of agile? I'll stick to my writing. It's more like during those days where everything is more like paper, file and all that, right? Nobody wants to use Google Drive. Nobody wants to use all these Google Drive and so on that used to store your data online or cloud, right? Nobody wants to hear that during those days. But now it has taken over, right? Nobody wants to be carrying paper all around. All they want to do is just take their tab and leave the house, right? So the world is ever changing. So we have to change with it, right? So fine, it's good to have your skill as a business, as a project manager, but at the long run, add a bit of or add some extra skills as you go on. Nothing bad in learning extra skills as you go on. Add that to it, right? And that is why I'm moving to this slide, which is why this matters to you. PMs are learning BA. That means project managers are learning BA. It will make you more valuable. Likewise, the same one for the number two, which is BAs are learning PM, help you grow faster, right? Having an extra skill in your arsenal does not reduce it actually helps you have more opportunities out there. It makes you more employable, which will go to the next option we have here, which is the next to the field, new to the field. It makes you more employable. If people see you that you are a project manager, but have skills of critical thinking, have skills of managing Excel sheets and all that, they'll want to look your way because if you have extra skills to actually manage and track your data and also visualize the project or the data at the long run. If you are currently a project manager, acquiring a business analyst skill will significantly enhance your value and versatility in the job market. So basically what you're saying, and this is vice versa also for the business analyst also. So now what does the future holds? What is the future for both the business analyst and the project manager? The future of project management and business analysis is not about one role replacing the other, right? It's rather the evolution and merging of skills. Basically, we now have tools that you can use for both a project manager and a business analyst, right? We now share the same tool. A tool like Jira, right? We both use Jira, we both use Trello. A project manager use Trello, a business analyst also use Trello, right? Those who adapt, grow, and remain curious will thrive in this changing landscape. According to what I've said before, the world is evolving. The world is evolving, and the more things we learn or the more skills we gain, it helps us to always stay afloat and make sure that we are always in demand as we go on. Embrace continuous learning and skill development to stay ahead of the curve. The most successful professionals will be those who can navigate both sides of the project circle, driving innovation and delivering exceptional value to their organization. According to what I said, there's no need to pick one side. It's better you learn one and then have a bit of the skill of the other. But the most important thing is start now. at all. But now is the opportunity whereby you can start. So now we talked about Jira. So now let's move a bit into Jira. Okay. So now let's move into Jira. Let me share my screen on that. I think I have a question here. So should project managers acquire business analyst skills at analytics? Do project manager lead BA skills? Thank you very much, Elizabeth, for this question. At analytics, we teach you how to use the tools that are common for both a business analyst and a project management, right? For business analyst and project management, they both use Jira and Trello, right? These are tools that you can add to your portfolio or to your experience that, okay, I know how to use the Jira, I know how to use Trello, I know how to use Excel, right? So these are the extra skills you can add to it. So both a BA uses Jira and a project manager also uses Jira. So do you get that? All right, so let's move into it. Let me share my screen so that we can go right into it. Give me a minute. So So firstly, what we'll be doing is checking out how a Jira board looks like, and then I'll be showing you guys how to create a user story, basically. Then to learn more about this, I'm just showing you a sneak peek of what it looks like, right? To get a vast understanding or a full understanding of this, you have to come to Analytics, pick a course, project management course, business analyst course, and then you'll be able to get full experience of what the Jira board is all about, and everything will be explained to you from the beginning. So now let's move right into it. So this is how a Jira board looks like. Can you guys still see my screen? Can you see the Jira screen? Please put a yes down there if you can see it. Okay, thank you very much. All right, so these are a list of projects we've worked on or I've worked on. So the one we'll be checking out today is, I'll be using a simple example here to explain how to navigate Jira. So first thing first, when you open a Jira, first thing you want to create is your project, right? You want to create a project you're working on. And when you click here, you'll be able to see where to create your project. Then you pick the one you want to use. Do you want to work on Scrum? Do you want to work on general service management or product roadmap? So depending on what you want to use, but since we are going into this, we'll be using Scrum. So all you need to do is click on Scrum, and then when you click on Scrum, you can decide to use templates. If you don't want to use templates, you can then close it up. Sorry. So use templates. So when you click on the use template, the next thing you come here is pick either you are either you want which project type are you are picking, either team managed project type or the company managed, right? So we are going for team. When they mean team managed or companies managed, if peradventure you are working with a company and they have their own Jira board, or you want to manage the company's Jira for them, you just come to the company here and click on it, and then you'll be able to work with the company. But since it's just your team or it's the team you are bringing in, you just come here and you click on the team here. And then what you need to do is put in the name here, and then put in a name, put in the key. Key is just, when the main key is just short, a short name, initials, probably initials for the project, right? So you put a name, let's say Spotify, you put initial. So let's put Spotify podcast, and they'll put initial as SPS. And then you can now, since it's opened here, you see open, meaning that anyone can edit this project. So it's leave it open like that. So the next thing you do is come down here, you click on the create project. So give it a minute to load up. And voila, you've actually created. So now you can decide to add team members to it here. You can decide to add team members, or you just keep it. You invite them later on. So voila, we've created our board. So now the next thing you want to do is what? Go to your backlog, right? Backlog is where we create tasks that are supposed to be done for the project, right? So first thing first, right? Now I've shown you the Jira board, how it looks like, how to create your project. And now I've shown you the backlog, right? So the next thing I'll be talking about is user story, right? How many of us has heard of user story before? User story, first of all, let's start with user story. How many of us have heard of user story? Just put a yes or a no in the comment section. If you've heard of user story or end user, all right. Imelda said yes. Ben said yes. That's great. All right. So first thing first. So it seems like we don't have a no. Everyone knows what a user story is. Okay. So just to recap for those that might not be able to speak, right? A user story. Let me use a simple scenario. Okay, so we have a no here, Ademuyiwa. So I'll use a simple scenario to explain what a user story is, right? And a user story and what an end user is. So on a good day, right, you decide to take yourself out to a very fancy restaurant, right? And then you sit down there. When you sat down, a waiter just comes to you and tell you, please, what do you want to order? Right? The waiter comes to you and asks what you want. That is the waiter asking you, give us your user story of what you want so that we can build for you. I'm just using the food you want to eat as an example. That's what you want. As a project owner, you can decide to want anything, right? But at that moment, it's that food that you want, and you want them to make the food for you. So what you would like to do is immediately I ask you, what do you want? The next thing you do is you start describing. I want to eat this. I want to eat that. Probably you tell them you want a rice, jollof rice, a little bit of fried rice by the side, and then you put some salad, and then you put some chicken, you put chicken wings, and so on. You are giving your description of what you want, right? So that is you telling your user story. A user story is basically you describing how you want your project to be for the project manager. Okay, someone said, do we feel this even you have registered for the upcoming cohort? You can still fill it if you want access to the slide that I'm using to teach at the moment. If you want access to the slide, you can fill it so that you get access to it. And also, if you need any clarifications, or we have offer clarity calls also, you can also register if need be. All right, that's great. So back to our user story. So now you've described what you want, right? You've described what you want to the waiter that came to take your order. You now that describe what you want, you are the end user. The end user is the person that is going to use the final product at the end of the day. So the waiter is out to satisfy you. The people that owns that food restaurant, they are out to satisfy you. And you as the end user. The end user is the final consumer, the customers. There are people that are referred to as the end users, right? So you are the end user and you just give your user story to this person, to the waiter. So now what the waiter will do is take your user story inside the kitchen and then present it to people that are going to make the food. Okay, well, this is what the person order. Let us start making, right? So they'll start making your food. If at the end of the day they bring something like a, a a macaroni or spaghetti to you, you tell them that what is wrong? What did I tell you to do? What are you doing? Imagine you're telling someone to build a duplex for you and they are building bungalow for you. How is that making sense? That is not them satisfying you as the end user. And at the end of the day, that is going to cause a big conflict, which might lead to something else at the end of the day. So what they will need to do is make sure they bring exactly what you ordered, which is the fried rice with the jollof rice, the chicken, the salad, and so on. They'll bring it to you. And immediately you see that, you'll be able to you'll be satisfied that, okay, this is what I want, and you'll be happy, right? And when you taste the food and it tastes that, oh, this food is really good, means that at the end of the day, when you're giving feedback, you'll be giving a very good, commendable feedback at the end of the day, meaning that, oh, you went to this restaurant, you're able to eat and you enjoy their food, right? So now let's get back into it. I'm using a Spotify podcast. Spotify they already have their music listening, right? But what you want is you want to listen to podcasts, right? And you want to save podcasts so that you can be able to play back later. And you want to write a user story for that so that they will help you for that. So first thing you need to do is what? You create your issue. This is how you create your user story. You come here, you create your issue. You click on here. There are two ways to do it. Is that you do it like this, or you come down up here and you click here to create your user story. And the first thing you do is what? You select what you want. There are several options here. We have the tags. There are several issues you can have, meaning that there are several ways your user story can be. It can be in form of a tax. It can be in form of a bug. Probably you want them to fix a bug in a website you are developing, right? You write a bug. You write a story of the bug that the project or the developers are facing or the user were able to detect. We write the bug so that they'll be able to fix it. And then we have the story, and then we have Epic. All these are issues that we are going to be talking extensively in our project management course, if you are able to take that course with us. So I'm hoping to see most of you on the course so that I'll be able to gain more of this knowledge. But for the sake of, let's go back right into it. For the sake of this class, we'll be going through the story. We'll start with the basic, which is the story. And we'll leave it as to do, right? And then we'll give a summary, right? What's the summary? I want to be able to save my podcast. I want to be able to save my podcasts. All right. So now you save this, you create this. Don't worry, we'll continue filling this, but I just want I want to save it so that you see how it is. So now, here is the summary of what you put here. Immediately you see this, you know that, okay, this is what this issue is for. You want to be able to save your podcast. And when you click on it, it should bring a detail of how you want it to be, right? First thing you will need to do is description. You as waiter, like the example I used before, you as a waiter, right? That you ask what the person wants, right? And the person said, this is what you want. You want to solve this issue, or you want to write the description in the view of that person that gave you the work, right? So more like when you are writing this user story or this description, you have to present yourself or put yourself in that person's shoes. That means the end user shoe, you have to put yourself in that person's shoe. Okay, how does this person want? So the first thing you want to do is, and the trick I use when I want to write my own description is I use what is called the 3 W's. right? The first W is what I call the who. First W stands for who. The second W stands for what. And then the last W stands for why. I'll explain to you as we go on. So now, if I want to write the user story for this, the first thing I will do is what? I'll start with, and who. When I mean who means as the end user. You are writing it as the user, the person that wants to use the product. So when you want to write it, you start with as a, let me just copy it here since I've written it somewhere here at a pod so that we don't have all the time. So I'll just copy here and put it here. The description, I'll title it as the description and then put a column. And don't forget, this is more like a text box. You can decide to edit it how you want it. So I just bold this. You come here, click on bold, italic, anyhow you want to arrange it, right? So the description first is as a podcast listener. First of all, it is the who. And the who is standing for the user, the person that you are building this thing for, the person that you want to serve this food with the example I used previously, the person that wants to use this podcast, the person that wants to serve this food. As a podcast listener, the next thing is the next W, the second W, which is what? The action they want. What do they want to do? What do they want to do as the user? What do the user want? As a podcast listener, I want to save my podcast as my favorite. So this is their want. They want to save their podcast as favorites, right? So after getting what they want, the next thing is why. Why do they want to do it? What is the value behind it? What is the reason for them wanting this? That is where we'll start with, so that I can create my own custom list for favorite podcasts. So note for this user story or this description, the description of this user story, we started with the user. You put ourselves in place of the user, write it in form of the user, meaning as a Spotify podcast listener. We've identified that as the user. The next is what does the user want, which is I want to save podcasts as my favorite. Then the next one is why. Why? So that I can be able to listen so that I can be able to create my own custom list of favorite podcasts. So that is you giving the description for this. So now, for this to happen, right? For this description to be accepted, there are some criteria that needs to be accepted, or there are some criteria that needs to be met, right? For we to be able to say, okay, this task has been successfully done, right? So there are some checklists that needs to be done before you know that, okay, yes, we have completed the task. The first is, and I also use some criteria for that. The first one is I use the giving. Let me just copy this. Sorry, I'm copying it because at time we still have other things to do. So criteria here. This is the criteria. Let me just shift it up. This is the criteria for this description we have here. If these criteria are not met, this description above is not going to, the user story is not going to be successful, right? So first thing, the criteria needs to be met. Then you know that, okay, the project is successful. So now there's a trick I use when writing my own criteria, right? The acceptance criteria. I use what I refer to as the giving, when, and then. So the giving is more like you are telling, given that the podcast displays the app, right? You are giving the context. Okay, well, given that this podcast displays the app, what should happen next, right? So first of all, you are letting them know, okay, what should happen before you say, okay, you want the podcast to be able to save. What do you want? What should happen first? Firstly, the podcast the podcast has to be displayed on the Spotify app first of all. If the podcast does not display on the Spotify app, there's no way for you to save it, not to talk of customizing it so that you be able to your favorite, putting it in your favorite option so that you be able to play it later. First of all, the podcast has to be inside the must be displayed on the Spotify app. Then the next is when I click on the icon that is displayed by each of the podcasts, meaning that when you click on the okay, now the first criteria is you successfully handle the first criteria, given that the Spotify app displays the podcast. So when you go on the Spotify app, you're able to see the podcast, right? And you click on the podcast. The next criteria you have to meet is what? When you click on this favorite icon that is displayed by each podcast, meaning that each podcast that is going to be displayed will have a logo. I don't know if you guys use this Spotify app, there's always a logo, I think heart logo at the front of it, whereby if you click on it, it will add to your favorite list. That's the same thing we're talking about here. Firstly, the Spotify app has to first of all have the podcast displayed. The next is that favorite icon has to be in front of each of the podcasts. So if that condition is met, you know that okay, nice, we are moving forward. Now we are moving forward. Then the next one is when you click on that icon, the podcast will now be saved. When you click on the icon, then the podcast, that's where the then is coming from. Then the podcast will now be saved. And when it is now saved, it will now be displayed on your favorite list. So you see as it's good. First of all, the first criteria is the podcast must first be displayed on Spotify, must first be displayed on the Spotify, first of all, before you even go on. That's the given. Then when it is now displayed, you can now be able to click on the favorite icon that is going to be appearing in front of all the podcasts. Probably you're having a series of a famous influencer. You just type his name and a lot of his podcasts just popped up. And when all of them pop up, you're able to see the favorite icon in front of each of them. That means the second criteria has been successfully met. And when the second criteria has been met, the third one is when you click on that favorite icon, it is able to take you to, it's able to save that podcast to your favorite list. Meaning that at the end of the day, if you go to your favorite list, if you open your favorite list, you should be able to see that podcast that you saved. And with this, you will know that your description has been met, and then the criteria, this is the acceptance criteria, and you know that the description has been met. And with this, after everything has been met here, after all this criteria has been successfully met, you can now conclude that this task has been successfully done or it is completed, right? So this criteria has to be accepted for you to say you are done with the description that you put above. First of all, you describe how the user wants it. Then next, you now put an acceptance criteria. Okay, first of all, it has to be displayed. Then next, it has to have the favorite icon, first of all, before you even be able to save a podcast. Next is what? Click on it and it is able to save automatically on your favorite list. That's basically the acceptance criteria. So with this now, I would say we've covered basically a bit of what we or most of, and then next thing you do is what? You save it. Immediately you save it, you see that when anyone that comes here now to want to work on this project, probably your team, the person that you put in charge, assign this task to, comes here and just check, okay, this task that has been assigned to me, the person can just come here, read the description. And when the person reads the description, the person will see the acceptance criteria. And if the person does not meet this acceptance criteria, probably the person is designing. And now you as the project manager, you want to check through the app before you send it to the stakeholder or the project owner, project owner to check. You first of all check the app yourself and say, okay, let me use this app first. First of all, you use your acceptance criteria. You first of all check if the podcast is displaying. If it's displaying, you check it in your own book. The next thing is what? You check if the podcasts are having favorite icon in front of it. You check it also. And the last but not the least, you check if the podcast gets saved when you click on that favorite icon. If that happens, you also check it. And with that, you know that you are done with that task. And you as a project manager, you can help the person tick it. Okay, you are finally done. I can move it or send it to the project owner to review. We have other parts here. If you want to add other things here, you can add other things, but this will be discussed extensively on our class or in our program, Agile Project Management or the Business Analyst program, because both of them actually uses the Jira platform. So now you can easily assign the tasks here to whoever you want to assign it to. But because we've not added anybody to this task, remember at first when we're doing it, it asked us to put someone in the team, but we're not able to put anybody in the team, right? Because we're trying to do like a demo here. But even we have someone in the team, you see a list of it down here. When you click on this assign, you see a list. You see me here because I'm also here. I can assign it to myself. And immediately I assign it, you see me here popped up. Assignee, you see down here, assignee, Moses Joshua. So I've assigned this to myself. So there are more things to talk about on this app, but because of time, we'll stop here for today. And we'll stop here for today. So let's go back to the slide where I'll be taking you guys through on our program that we're having, on the programs we have in Analytics. So give me a minute. Let me change my slide. All right. So now we're done with this. So the next will be going, please, just to confirm everyone is still here with me. Just I want everyone to like type anything on just type something on the chat box. Thank you very much, Amen. I appreciate that. Yetunde, thank you for the amazing session. Thank you very much. All right. So let's move on. Now that we've talked about, you've seen a sneak peek of what we do at Analytics. Now is to put you guys through on how to actually take these courses with us. Thank you very much. Ade Ayebakuro. Sorry, I pronounced it wrongly, or if I'm pronouncing it wrongly, Ayebakuro. All right. You said something when I said something. All right, thank you very much. All right, so now let's move right into it. Career paths to focus on to break into the job market the fastest. I know most of us might be facing the challenges of what should I do? How do I go about it? Okay, you're talking about moving into the tech space or tech space. How do I do it? I'm just doing my daily work here, 9 to 5, and I want to be free. I want to work. I want to work freely, right? I want to work from anywhere, any part of the world, right? So I want to get a remote job or something, right? And you are being confused on how to go about it. You are in the right place. I'm here to put you through. So what we've done in Analytics is we've helped you, we've gone to all the job posts like LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, Total Job, CV library, Monster, Google Jobs, and so on. We've gone there, we'll script all the job posting. We help you script all the job posting or all the available jobs or the roles that we know that are going to be useful to you. And then we analyze these jobs that are available, analyze this through these 3 means that we have here. We analyze it through the 3 means we have here, which is the, give me a minute. We analyze through the 3 means we have here, which is the ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and high and rewarding salary. Let's start with the first one. When we do this, when we go about to script all those jobs, what we'll consider is how easy it is for you to transition from your for how easy it is for you to learn, right? Because when you are moving into tech, most people are always scared. They are always skeptical. I wouldn't lie to you. Because when you want to learn, you take some other courses that are very hard to learn. Most courses, they take longer time to learn. And it takes a lot of time, right? But with the help of our tools, we've been able to script jobs online, easy ones that you can easily learn, that is relatable to the ones that are in our 9 to 5, right? The next one is what's transitioning, ease of transitioning. After doing all this, we also look at the jobs that are easy for you to transition from your 9 to 5 jobs to the tech space, right? I know that some of you might be thinking, which job is relating to our 9 to 5 job? Which job from the tech is relating to that? Well, let me use a simple example here. I'll use an example of a teacher, right? We have teachers. All of you know who a teacher is. And who does teachers always relate to with? Our teachers relate with the students, they relate with the parents, they relate to the student, they relate to the parents, and then they relate with the management. That means the school management. They relate to these three people, right? So now, this person as a teacher, he or she might not know, but he's already doing stakeholder management. And what does it mean by stakeholder management? With what I've explained for you guys earlier on, stakeholders are people that influences the project anyhow, as long as they have effect on the work. So in this case, stakeholders are the teachers or the students, the the parents, and then the management, the school management that the teacher is actually talking to. So the teacher relates with all these people. So the teacher relates to the students in class, talk with them, and then relate to the parents at the end of the day. Okay, well, probably teacher, I don't know if they call it teacher parents conference or something like that, whereby the parents will come in, the teacher will talk to the parents, okay, well, this is how your child is doing, and so on. And then at the end of the day, these teachers also relate to the management of the school, whereby they are able to converse back and forth. And with this skill, the person already have what we call the stakeholder management. And this skill falls under what we refer to as the business analysis, right? You are able to relate with stakeholders, easily manage them, talk with them, strategize with any of them. So it falls under what we refer to as business analysis. So now let's move on. What are the jobs? After scraping all the next one we do is the number 3, which is very important. I know most of us are going into tech space because of the high and rewarding salary that is in it, right? So most people want to work freely and then for the high salary coming in. And then we put all this together and we come up with this 8 courses that we know that are easy to learn and are of high demand, and they are not going anywhere for the next couple of years to come, right? The first one is what? The business analyst. The next is agile project management and scrum master. Next is business analyst, data analyst, data science, data engineers, cybersecurity analyst, financial analyst, HR analyst. All these skills are skills of high demand. And I know most of you might be confused that, oh, how do I even know the paths that I fall in, right? How do I know which one to go for? How do I know which one to go do, right? Don't worry, we are here for you all the way, right? The first thing you need to do is fill that form, fill the feedback form, and then at the end of the day, you'll be added to a group, WhatsApp group, whereby you'll be communicated. You'll join a clarity section. A link will be sent to you to pick a time that is convenient for you to join a clarity section. And what do we do in our clarity section? We help you brainstorm. Okay, we look at where you are, what you are doing currently, and then we ask you a few questions, what you are good at and what you like to do. If you are good with numbers, if you are good with calculation, if you are not good with calculation, and we put everything together and we'll let you know that, okay, well, with everything that I've said, we'll be able to pick a good spot for you to actually be in, or the good course to actually go for here, right? So we are always here for you every step of the way. So be rest assured that if you're coming here, we are here from the beginning till you finish this course. So now, according to World Economic Forum, this is gotten from World Economic Forum, right? There are some jobs that are going to be destroyed in the next 5 years to come by 2030, right? There are some jobs that are going to be destroyed, and some jobs are still going to be stable. New jobs are going to be created. Most of the jobs that are going to be created are where we picked these ones that we have in our courses here. These are most of the jobs that are going to still be in high demand and still going to be available even after the next 5 or 10 years to come, right? So now, as a business or as a person, what we should be tending to do is what? Trying to navigate or move from this red zone and move to the green zone. This part here are the jobs that are stable. This part are the jobs that are stable. This part are the jobs that are being created. So every day, new jobs are being created, and these are the jobs that are going to be destroyed. I know you guys are asking, where are these jobs? Where are these jobs? You are just showing us colors here. Don't worry, we'll get right into it. I'm just showing you the colors here so that I take that into note. So in the next 5 years, so about 170 million jobs will be created. About 170 million jobs will be created, and while 92 million jobs will disappear. And the 92 million jobs are the ones in this red here, that falls in this red section here, while the 170 million jobs that will be created in the next 5 years fall in this green parts here. And this will be done in the next 5 years by 2025. And this data is not just we talking. It's according to when we in analytics, we deal with results, right? When we talk data, right? And we have data to back this up. So this is backed up by World Economic Forum. So you can go online and check this. You'll be able to see it here. And also the link is here. You can also copy it and post it online. You'll get the same information. So now let's move right into this. Let's move right into this. So here are the jobs that are in high demand. And by my left, you see that these jobs are the jobs that are in high demand, while the jobs by my right are the jobs that are going to be destroyed, right? So looking at the jobs here by my left, so you see that the project manager role falls by the left-hand side. Don't forget the colors I talked about. If you check the colors, you see that the colors here are the colors that are still in high demand, that are going to be present, the blue ones. And then the red ones by my right are the jobs that are going to be destroyed in the next 5 years to come. And for the jobs that are going to be available or still be in demand by then, we have the project manager role here, which is the agile project managers. And then we have also the business analyst here also. And this tool falls in the jobs that are still going to be in high demand in the next 5 years to come. And you can get this. And if you want to check more about this, you can click the link below here to check more on this. All these are backed up according to the World Economic Forum that we talked about. So now, the question now stands. It's always difficult to start, right? I know it's difficult. Me, I also fell in that category some time ago, right? To start. That starting is always the beginning, is the hardest phase. To take that first step, that leap of faith is always difficult, right? When when I first started, I was procrastinating a lot. Oh, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. And then until I just had until I saw the way the world was moving, and I saw many of my friends moving into the tech space, I was like, if I don't join in this trend, I'll be left behind, and I would I would lose out in a lot. That was when I took the first step. I took that first step, and today I'm not regretting it because I'm benefiting a lot from it. And then I want you guys to do the same for today. Today, I want you guys to take the first step today. Take that course, any of the courses that we have shown you guys here. Take the course. If you have anywhere you need clarifications on, fill that form and join the group. Someone will reach out to you and give you a clearer understanding of what you want at the end of the day. So now let me just don't be talking. Here are some testimonials that we have here, a success story of people. Here is Louis. Louis was an accountant and procurement specialist with zero experience in tech. So she just joined newly. What she did was she joined our business analyst training program. And for now, she secured a job as a project manager in the UK after completing the training, leveraging the project management skills in business analysis. So according to what we've talked about, these skills, you see that there's a success story here. And you can also click here to watch the video on Louis where she actually talked about this. And we have several other success story here. We have Ngozi here, had a background in customer service and HR before she joined our business analysis training program. Upon completion of the program, she got a job as a business analyst in the UK and works remotely from Huddersfield. We have another one here, Olalade also. Olalade is now a permanent resident in Canada, using her experience in data scientists in analytics, right? We also have Bukola here, joined data science program in 2023, completed her training and internship in 2024. And in June 2024, Bukola landed a job as a people data analyst with company in Poland. So you can also watch the video here. So we have many other testimonials you can watch here. So it's not just me just talking. We have experience here. We have so many people. And as I've said before, we back up all our data with facts. So there are links here or down here. You are free to go and watch their video. They are the ones talking for themselves. We are not the ones talking for them. They did the video sent to us because they were happy that we were able to help them actually land their role, right? So to watch more of these testimonials, just come here, click on this link here, and then you'll be able to see more of these testimonials. Don't forget, fill the feedback form so that you'll be able to get access to this slide at the end of the day, so that you'll be able to go through it on your own and then watch many of these testimonial videos at the end of the day. So the skills that will land you jobs in 2025. One is we talked about the project. So I'll be talking about the two ones we talked about today, which is the Agile Project Manager and Scrum Master role, and then the Business Analyst role. So for the Agile Project Manager role here, the price or the average salary for a project manager role in the UK is about 53,000 £53,000. And for the USA, for Canada, we have about 47. For Canada, we have about 97,700 Canadian dollars. And then for the USA, we have about $800,000 in the USA. These are the prices or average salary of a agile project manager in these countries. So if you say there's no money in this, I'm not even going to argue the facts with you. These are the average salary which was gotten online. So you can easily take your phone, Google it, and check the average salary for these roles in these three countries, and you come back to thank me later or tell me I'm correct later. So the key things you're going to be learning, what are the key learning areas? These are the things you'll be doing with us. Firstly, we'll go into the introduction of project management methodologies and structure. Next, we'll look into project management skills and communication. Then we'll move into the foundations of Agile and Scrum. Following with that, you'll be doing understanding the Scrum framework and then the Scrum artifact. We'll talk about the Scrum artifact, advanced Scrum and Agile practices, end-to-end user of Agile and Confluence in project management, in projects. And then we'll talk about Kanban boards for workflow management. We'll talk about Agile metrics and reporting, leadership and real-life application, Nexus scaled Scrum. And finally, we'll talk about we'll be preparing you guys for the PSM examination, which is the Scrum Masters examination, right? And then the tools that we use in project managers, or we are going to be using, or the list of tools that we'll be using. One is the Confluence, next is Jira, and then we have Trello also. These are tools I'm going to be using in class to teach you guys. And then for our live class, we have our program is divided into two. We have both our live class and self-paced, right? Our live class happens on morning. We have on Saturdays morning and evening time, right? So if you are not free in the morning for the EU, that means the Europe guys and the UK guys. If you are free in the morning and Africa, if you are free in the morning, you can decide to go for the morning class. And then if you are comfortable with the evening, especially for those in Canada and in the US, if you are free in the evenings, we also have the evening classes for you guys on Saturdays. For the morning guys, the time is from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, right? While for the evening guys, it starts from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. And for MST is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So now for the self-paced I talked about, self-paced happens on Sunday, right? You start your self-paced on Sunday. Self-paced is whereby you'll go to our LMS video. That means learning management system. That's the meaning of LMS, whereby we've provided a self-paced videos for you guys, whereby you can follow. You follow weekly. Or when the video is posted on Sunday, you will be able to watch it throughout the week so that you'll be able to get insights of what the course is all about before your live class on Saturday. So we are going to be having both a self-paced and a live class video. You see, we are going to be following in every corner, right? So if you say you're not going to be available for live class, we are here for a self-paced, right? And you say you don't want self-paced, we are here for a live class. So we are always here for you. We are going to be putting you through in every area or every aspect of this program as you move on. And the learning timeline, the range of this, the learning timeline for this course is 8 months. So we're going to be having 6 months of learning in class, and then we'll have 2 months of internship, whereby you'll be interning with a company or one of our companies known as Amdari Company. Yetunde says see you in class on the 10th of May. All right. Oh, we'd love to see you also. All right, so now let's move on. Let's talk about the business analyst. We've talked a lot about the agile project management. Let's talk about business analyst. Key learning areas. So firstly, let's talk about I've talked about the roles of a business analyst, basically, from the beginning of the class. They are like the bridges of the business stakeholders and technical teams, right? To ensure communication and understanding of requirements. We've talked about their roles at the beginning. Then but now to their pricing, the average salary of a business analyst in the UK, the Canada, and then US. In the UK, the average salary of a business analyst is what, £52,000, right? And then for Canada, we have about $74,000 Canadian dollars. And then for the UK, we have about $85,000. That's the average salary of business analyst. And as I've said before, you can go online to check, to verify for yourself. I'm not just talking, it's being backed up by data online. So feel free to go online to check for this average price and then come back and take the course, because we're always here for you throughout your journey. So what you're going to be learning in business analysis, the key learning areas. One is what? Excel. We'll be putting you through on Excel, Power BI, and SQL. Second is process mapping. We'll be looking also at project initiation, planning, Agile and Scrum for projects, software development cycle. We'll be looking at requirements fundamentals, elicitation. We'll be looking at stakeholders analysis and engagement. And last but not the least, ChatGPT for business analysis. Many people don't know the usefulness of ChatGPT, but we're putting you through on how to utilize ChatGPT for your business analysis. And then next is what the tools that you're going to be using in business analysis. One is what the Excel, and then we'll move to SQL, and then Power BI. We'll be using Lucid Chat, Draw.io, Jira Software, Confluence, Trello, Azure DevOps, and then last but not least, ChatGPT. And same thing for our classes. We have classes on Saturdays, live classes on Saturdays, and then self-paced also starting on Sundays, and they can watch it through the week. Right? It's open for you through the week. So you can watch it as you go on. Same thing, the same timeline for the business analyst program is also for 8 months, 6 months of learning in class, and then 2 months of internship. So at the end of the day, you'll be having 2 working experience from 2 companies. One is from 10 Analytics and one is from Amdari. See that we're doing a good job for you guys. So all our programs comes with internship, right? To make your CV and portfolio stand out. At the end of the day, most people tend not to know how to build their CV and portfolio. But we at Analytics, I told you from the beginning, we are here for you all the way. Immediately you take the course and you are ready to stick with us, we'll be able to put you through from the beginning till the end of the program, or till you're able to get your first role in tech, right? So we are here for you. We'll help you to, after making your CV, we'll help you to revamp it, go through your CV, make sure that the CV is on par with what the recruiters want. And then we'll also help you make sure that your portfolios stand out. That means we're giving you so many case studies to work on, real life scenarios to work on to actually build your portfolio. And then let me show you a more skill. You must build a portfolio to showcase your skill. Let me show you a sneak peek of how a business portfolio looks like, or someone that built a business portfolio here with us. I don't know if you guys can still see my screen here. Can you guys still see my screen of the portfolio being opened? If you can see that, just put a yes or a no. Okay, yes, right? All right, that's great. Thank you, man. So here is the portfolios of Lemuel Loye. He's a business analyst. And here is his project. This is the list of his project that he has worked on. So if you want to explore the project, all you need to do is what? Just click on any of the projects here, click on it, and it's going to open up. You see the projects there. So let me go on. So here is all. So this is how he was able to arrange his own portfolio. So most recruiters, they're not necessarily freaked about your certificate. What they are interested in is your experience. Where have you worked on? How many experience do you have? Right. So we'll help you build more experience. You'll be able to have lots of experience, and then you'll be able to build your portfolio yourself at the end of the day. So this is the portfolio of this person, and then this is the socials that you can reach out to him. See how good it is. So with this now, if you send this to somebody now, okay, this is what I worked on. The person will be happy that, oh, yes, this person have lots of experience, right? And he'll be able to give you like the role at the end of the day, or you'll at least have high employability chance compared to someone that's just bringing certificates, right? So now let's move to the next one. What I refer to as our formula we use here. We use what we know as T plus E equals to job offer. What does the T stand for? The T is referred to as technical skills plus employability skills, which will give you job offers. What does this mean? It means that just with your technical skills is not enough. With the current state we are in this world, just having technical skills is not enough. You also have to have employability skills to be able to land job offers. I know you guys might be wondering what employability skills is, right? You guys all know what technical skill is, meaning what you can do, right? But employability skills, what do you think it is? I'll rush you guys through on what it is. So we at Analytics, we help you stand out with these employability skills. That means we'll be grooming you on your employability skills. And what are they? One of them is we'll be helping you with your CV review and revamp. So according to what I said before, we'll be helping you review your CV. After making your CV, we'll help you review your CV. Make sure that it is on par with what the industry is requiring for. And next, we'll help you with LinkedIn optimization. The world we are now is mainly social media that is taking over, right? So if you're able to build an influence, at least build yourself online. If they ask you for your what's it called, your LinkedIn profile, you'll be able to show them that, okay, this is my LinkedIn profile I have where I've been showcasing my work, or where I have my audience that are listening to me, right? So we'll help you optimize your LinkedIn so that you can be able to use it to also get jobs, be able to post regularly, make sure that job people that wants to give you job are seeing you. Make sure that you are visible on LinkedIn. We'll be grooming your profile, helping you grow on your LinkedIn page. So let's move to the next. Next, after doing that, after helping you optimizing your LinkedIn, the next we'll do is help you navigate the job market, right? Help you navigate the job market by helping you with this. Now, in our company, we help you scrape jobs from different payment platform, right? And we help you, we'll put that in a file or in a spreadsheet whereby you can just go in there, pick a job and apply for the job. That means you don't need to stress yourself going to like search for jobs. We've paid for several websites or several job sites whereby we help you scrape jobs from there, put it in a certain file, and then all you need to do is just apply. That's all you need to do. And even if you don't have a CV, we've helped you review your CV. We'll help you review your CV so you have no issues. After doing all this, after getting the job, after you've applied and you've gotten a request from them that, okay, we've seen your CV and we're going to be calling you for an interview. If you eventually have the opportunity to be called for an interview, we are still here for you, right? We'll also be helping you with preparation for your interview. We'll help you, put you through, give you questions that can be asked in your CV, in that interview, and then we'll help you prepare for that to build your confidence as you go on for that interview. And next thing we'll be providing you is job reference letter. Peradventure, after your interview, then I ask you, oh, do you have a reference letter from your company? Don't worry, we are here for you. We'll provide you with reference letter if need be for any job you are applying for that is requesting for a reference letter. As long as you are with us in Analytics, we'll always provide you with reference letter so that you have no issues at the end of the day. And next, we'll be helping you with we'll be moving to the next one, which is on the job support. What does on the job means? Peradventure, you are just taking the course with us. You've done the course up to 4 months or 5 months, right? Or 6 months. You are not done with the program, right? But you've gotten the job. Don't worry about that. If you are still scared that, oh, how am I going to do this job? I don't know a lot of things. I'm still learning. Don't worry, calm down. We are still here for you. I told you that analytics is here to hold you in the hand and pull you through to the end of till you are done with everything, or till you land a job successfully, as long as you are ready for it, right? As long as you are ready for it, we will help you, put you through until you land a job. And if you eventually land a job, we are still here to support you on the job. So you have no issues. You have no issues. Next is what? Weekly mentorship section. If you take a course with us, we provide weekly mentorship section whereby we invite whereby we invite people that are good in these areas to talk to us, to shed more light. We'll bring people that are organizations into the community, into our organization to give us a section, talk to us, enlighten us, also put us through on what might be needed in the space that we are moving into, right? So they will help us shed more light on how it is in the real life, give us real life scenarios, build our confidence, put us through on one or two tips that might be required when we are moving into the tech space. And last but not the least, Upwork optimization. I know some people, they prefer to work freelance, right? They prefer to freelance. That means work for several people, just do a contract work and they're done, right? If you think that, okay, this is still going to be an issue for you, don't worry. We are still here for you every step of the way, even for this Upwork optimization. With this, we'll help you optimize your Upwork page so that you'll be able to land, so that you'll be able to position yourself to land high-paying roles at the end of the day. So now I talked about the job scraping. This is more like the job scraping I talked about. We scraped all the job. This is the job title we scrape all this here. And these are the companies that were scraped. These are the companies that owns this job that put the job request. These are the companies, and then this is the job locations here. The UK, the US, Canada, Nigeria, and then we'll put sponsorship. Sponsorship meaning those people, those organization or company that wants to sponsor their employees or that can sponsor their employees abroad or outside the country. So these are the ones who put yes, yes, yes here. So these companies can actually sponsor you out there. And then these are the links to the job. So what else are you looking for? You already have some people that are bringing in the jobs for you, job application or job links for you. All you need to do is just apply. So as long as you are with us, I've told you severally, you are bound to get a job at the end of the day. So we are here to put you through every step of the way. So all you need to do is what? Register now, fill that form I've talked about. My colleagues are sharing it in the form there, in the chat here. Just fill the form and then join the WhatsApp group, book a time for your clarity section, and then all of them will be explained to you, the necessary course you want to take, and then you join your course. Don't worry, I told you before, every step of the way, we are here for you. So now, more success story. So these are other success stories of people that have actually landed the job roles. We have Biola here, an accountant, and transitioned to a data analyst after completing data analytics course. Next one, we have Olu Gbemi here. He was a banker also, a transition into business analyst in Canada. This one too, Michael. We have so many. We have so many success stories. So as I've said before, if you know the success story, all you need to do is fill that form and then a link for the slide will be sent to you. So now, what are you waiting for? Join our next cohort, which is going to be starting on the 10th of May, 2025. So to do that, all you need to do is what? Click on that link and then someone will be able to put you through every step of the way. Now let's talk about our program and the payment structure for our program. So these are the program. By my left here, you see all the programs that I have listed previously that we offer in analytics. They are listed here: business analysis, data analytics, data science, data engineering, cybersecurity, HR analytics, financial analytics, agile project manager, and scrum master. These are the courses we do. And then how many months we do it? We do it for 8 months. This is an 8 months plan, right? So now we have, we have two options for payments. You can decide to pay in full and you can decide to pay in bits. But before we go on, I want to tell you those that are going to be registering today that you are in luck today. Why do you think I say you are in luck? Because as from today, we're going to be having a 20% discount off from the actual price. You can see the actual price there, which is $900. But for today, we're having 20% off discount, which will be amounting the price to $750 for the course, right? $750, meaning that, and this slot is limited. Don't forget, this slot is limited. It's probably for 20 people, right? So if you are paying now, you are in luck. If you are paying for this program, you're in luck, meaning that all you need to do is you're paying your $750 for this course, not the $900. But immediately this slot is filled up, it will revert back to the $900 we have. And then you have some different payment plan. If you want to pay one time, if you want to pay, spread your payment within 5 months, we're also here for you to put you through on how to do that. So now let's go to the payments plan. So if you want to check our payment plan or payments, how to pay in installments, all you need to do it was come here, come down here, click on this here down. Click on it to redirect you to this page. Can you guys see the next page here before I move on? Just put a yes there if you can see the next page so that I can move on. If you can see this next page, mainstack.enrollment, mainstack.me. Please just put a yes if you can see it so that I'll know you guys are still following. All right, that's great. That's great. Okay. All right, so let's move on. So if you want to make your payment, all you need to do is scroll down to this place. You'll see the different courses we have down here. We have the Agile Project Management, you have the Business Analysis 8 months. We have our cybersecurity, we have data analytics, we have data engineering, we have financial analytics, and we have full stack data scientists, we have HR analytics also. So we have all the programs here. All you need to do is come here, click on one of the programs you want to register for. So I'll be clicking for the Agile Project Management Scrum Master. So when I click on it here, it actually opens up. So when it opens up, you see different options for payment here. The first option is one-time payment. So we still have an offer for those that are going to be paying one-time payments, right? So if you are going to be paying everything in full once, there will be a discount of $50 from the initial payment. So instead of paying $750, you'll be paying $700 if you are paying in one-time payments. And also, if you are breaking your payment for 2 months, that means if you are paying in 2 months, that means if you want to pay twice, that means you are still entitled to pay $700 also, meaning that you pay $350 for the first month, and then you pay the next $350 for the second month, which is $700. Right. But if you start breaking it into, if you start breaking it into 3 months, that means you want to pay 3 times, right? That means for 3 months, for 4 months, and the 5th month, right? You'll be paying $750 basically. So the last payment here is for the 5th month. If you want to break your payment installments into 5 times, that means you want to pay 5 times, right? You come to this $150, meaning that you'll be paying $150 per month for 5 months. All you need to do is click on the down one here. If you are going for the $700, all you need to do is click here and then click on the secure your seats. But if you are going for the $150 just to secure your seat, if you want to secure that seat now and you don't have the full amount, you can start with this $150. All you need is click on the $150 and then click on secure your seats. And if you are scared of, this is in dollars. What's of I'm in a different location and all that. Don't worry. This our form is time is already, it can sync on any state or country you're in. If you're in Nigeria, the pricing will change to Naira. If you're in the US, it changes to the dollars. If you're in the Canada, it changes to your currency. If you're in the UK, it changes to your currency. So fear not. Immediately you register from anywhere, it automatically changes to the country you are in. The pricing changes to the country you are in. So all you need to do is just come to the page, click on the payment structure you want to follow, and then secure your seat. So if immediately you secure your seat, the first thing you're doing is you first of all pay the first payment of 150 is going to be doing today. That means if you want to secure your seat, you have to make your first $150 today. Then the next one is going to be on the May 16th. The next one will be June 16th up till August 16th, which you'll be done with your payments, right? So next, after picking one of them, you now, after checking through, you now click on what proceed. When you click on proceed, next thing you do is just fill in your name. Moses Joshua, and then you put in your email, and then you put a phone number, and then the next thing you do is just click on submit, and voila, you're done. You pick your how you want to make your payments, click on it, and then you make your payments. And that's all. All you need to do is click on confirm, and your payment is done. And after doing that, send a receipt. You send a receipt. Don't worry, we'll put you through on when you're done. That means you send a receipt to our finance team, and then we verify it, and then you are in for the program. So that is it. Now let's move back to it here. As I've said before, the discount is for the first 20 people to register. Our achievements to date have helped over 2,500 people transition from their 9-to-5 jobs into their first job in tech across UK, US, Canada, Europe, and Asia. And these are some participants that we've worked with in the past. And these are the list of people that we've worked with in the past. And then here are some of our impactful features in 2022. You can also read about us here. So we are not just saying what we've not done before. These are the things that we've done several times. So you can read about us on these articles. We have several articles that we've shown up in. So you can read about us here. Analytics help Africa across 4 continents land tech jobs. So there are so many articles. So you can read about us. So it's not that we are coming here to like tell you people or show you what we've not done before. We've done this severally. So our impactful feature also here, and then this is now the appendix. It shows more testimonials. So if you want to check more testimonials of people that we have, so this is everything for it. So you can see more testimonials from everyone that we've talked to, the feedback and testimonials from few of our participants. So all you need to do to get this slide is what? Fill in the form down there, and then you get access to this form. Get access to this slide, and you'll be able to go through the slide from the beginning. If you have anywhere you want to check through, you can check it. And all the links on the slide are clickable. Right? So all you need to do is, if you want to check anything, free to check it. Are you ready to gain premium skills now? All you need to do is reach out to us via our website or call the telephone numbers here and the WhatsApp numbers here, or chat us on these WhatsApp numbers here, and then we'll put you right into it. And this is our founder, Adeiza, and then our co-founder here also, Ifemina. These are the people that brought analytics to life, and then they've been working with us for a while. So this is the end of the slide. So do we have any questions from anyone for today? BA is showing 220. Which part of the BA is showing 220? Ayobami, you said BA is showing 220. Is it on the slide or where? Okay, no problem. So do I have any questions from anyone? Any questions? Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay. All right. So I think there's no questions from anyone. So all I want to say is so if you are here today, you are in luck. All I want to say is start now. Why not now? Take that form, fill that form, reach out to us, fill that form, and we'll reach out to you. You don't need to do much. That's the form that has been sent to the group. Fill the form now, and we'll reach out to you and then put you through. We'll have a clarity section with you and teach you how to go about it. So do that now, and then I know that you will not regret the decision that you're going to be taking. That's the first step I'm talking about. Take that first step and then thank me later. um, Abiona said no for that bonus for Christmas. That's the bonus for Christmas. 20% discount is the bonus for Christmas. So you can take that. All right. Thank you very much, guys. If there's no other questions for today. All right. So is there another question today? We can call it a day. Thank you very much, guys, for joining in and have a lovely day. Enjoy the rest of your days and bye, guys.